We are the ISUBK since 1969 under Commander General Yana. And we are here to edify the so-called Black and Latino and Native American man, woman, and child, and to show them and tell them and teach them that they are God's chosen people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And tonight, Slakia, I'm Precinct Officer Nayat, holding it down for Precinct Officer Uraga Bar for the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Lord's enemies. Yeah, that's right. The Lord has enemies, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? We have been taught by the Christian and Catholic churches that God loves everybody, and that is far from the truth. We have to understand that the powers that be, they're pretty much, they want to destroy the chosen people of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to bring it out tonight and just go over various information in the Bible. And I got some books here as well, but we're going to bring it out tonight. But we're going to start in, Exodus 15:3. Exodus 15:3. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Now, it says a lot of Christians don't even know this is in here. It says the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So if somebody's going to war, they're pretty much going to war against somebody like an enemy or a friend that could turn into an enemy, what have you, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And so if the Most High has enemies, that means his chosen people has enemies as well. You know what I'm saying? And we got to think about something too. There's more than one enemy out there that hates the Most High. Bottom line, there's other nations out there that came together to destroy the Most High's chosen people. But there's one main culprit at the top, and he's a vile beast. And we know him as, in the Bible, Esau. But he is the so-called white man, the greatest deceiver that the Bible speak of, the greatest devil that the Bible speak of, which is deceiver. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But, we're going to go into the characteristics and, find out and just connect the dots, try to connect the dots, what have you. You know what I'm saying? And try to figure some things out. But, and as a matter of fact, I was thinking about, what's the dude's name? Like they would say, they don't know who Esau is. Esau can't be this person, these people right here. They can't be the white people, right? You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing new under the sun. And everybody in this book, they're still here pretty much. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? They had just changed their names as time changed. That's all it has been. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. But you got they'll tell you that the so-called Jewish people, which are Caucasians, right? You know what I'm saying? They'll say they're, they know who they are in this Bible, right? You know what I'm saying? They're God's chosen people. They're the Jews. You know what I'm saying? But there's 12 other tribes, 11 of the other tribes. You telling me they only found one, which are Jewish people? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take Michael Rappaport, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, he played in Higher Learning. He was Remy on Higher Learning. He was on next Friday when Craig went to Rancho Cucamonga. He was the mailman. You know what I'm saying? That's Michael Rappaport. And the reason why I bring him up is because anytime there's some type of issue with Israel or the Israelis or whatever, or any kind of uproar or whatever, you know what I'm saying, controversy, what have you. He's like the spokesman. He likes to get on, social media and rant and say, oh, anti-Semitic, oh, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot to say, and I believe he's like a Ashkenazi Jewish, yeah, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but I just want to read some stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? Go over some information right here. And this says right here, according to Israeli Ministry of Health, the skin cancer rate in Israel is high compared to other countries. All right. Now, and this is one of the reasons. Well, this is the main reason right here. Melanoma. You know, it's a skin disease, right? Of melanoma in Israel is 25.5 per 100,000 people, which is significantly higher than the global average of 6.7 per 100,000 people. That's a big difference right there. You know what I'm saying? I just want to bring that out right there. We got more information about the factors contributing to the high skin cancer rates in Israel include high levels of ultraviolet UV radiations, exposure due to Israel's Mediterranean climate. This is why they're getting the skin cancer, because they're Mediterranean climate. Now, this Mediterranean climate has always been there, always. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing changed, right? Now, let's see, a large population of Ashkenazi Jewish people who have a genetic predisposition to skin cancer. Now, they have a genetic predisposition of skin cancer. We see what that predisposition is a tendency or inclination to behave in a certain way or to be susceptible to a particular disease or condition, which is what? Melanoma. This is what these people were getting over there. You know what I'm saying? What does it say? 67, no, 25% compared to 6.7. That's a big difference right there. You know what I'm saying? Let's read about this UV radiation. Is a type of electromagnetic energy from the sun, tanning beds, and other sources that can cause skin damage, aging, and cancer. Now, you know, I'll bring that out to say this. You know, these people, you know, they claim they're the chosen people, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, the Most High, you know, when they came out of Egypt, the Most High did so many miracles. You know, he gave Egypt so many plagues, right? You know, he swarmed the land with locusts, with frogs. You know, he made the water blood. They couldn't even drink the water because water was blood, right? You know what I'm saying? The major thing he did was he unalived every firstborn, including the animals. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he did all that for these people, right? You know, that God's chosen people, they're the salt of the earth, right? You know, and so now they leave. You know what I'm saying? They Egypt pursues them. He even parted the Red Sea so they can cross, and then he wiped Egypt's army up. You know what I'm saying? Like he did all this for these people, right? You know what I'm saying? But yet he forgot one thing. He forgot to give these people melanin, to where they can't survive over there in Israel. You know, I just find that hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. He did all these miracles, but he forgot to give these people melanin. That just blows my mind right there. I just wanted to bring that out. You know what I'm saying? For that Michael Rappaport guy. You know, these Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and let's bring out some more characteristics, attributes, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? What do I got? Let's go and you know, we're gonna go, like I said, we're gonna go into various books right here. I got the Strong Concordance, right? You know, got the Strong Concordance, and we're gonna go in here and check out the attributes right here. You know, but as a matter of fact, let's read Obadiah first. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. Let's go to the book of Obadiah, verse 6. Verse 6. Because I want to point something out. This is the book of Obadiah, in verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Now, I want to point something out. After, it says, how is this thing? How are the things of Esau searched out? After that out, it's a exclamation point, right? After hidden things sought up, it's an exclamation point, right? You know what I'm saying? Indicating what? You know what I'm saying? You're expressing, you're expressing your feelings, whether it's you're surprised or pain, or you're angry or what have you. Now let's read verse 1 right quick. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Edom is another name for the Edomites, Esau. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man. Now, but like I said, back to the exclamation point. You are surprised. It's saying, let's read it like this. How are the things of Esau searched out? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're hiding. They're really what is that? What does it say? They're cunning. Esau's a cunning hunter. As a matter of fact, let's get that right quick. Let's get that. Let's see. I think it's Genesis 25. Genesis 25 and what is it? 27. Genesis 25 and 27. And it reads, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. You know what I'm saying? Jacob was dwelling in tents. You know how we are, you know what I'm saying? The children of Israel. You call us up, hey man, what's going down? What you doing? No, just chilling at the crib. You know what I'm saying? We be in the house. We just be trilling. Esau? Nah, he'll put some deer piss, raccoon piss, any kind of animal piss, and be out there in a tree waiting for hours just to get that kill. You know what I'm saying? Because cunning is a slick person. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's really trickery, getting with trickery and everything like that. We just playing connect the dots right here. That's all we doing, right? You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get some more of this real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and read Obadiah 1-4. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, among the other nations, right? That's what the Most High called them. All the other Gentiles, they also heathens, aka heathens. That are greatly despised. And those other nations, believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know this. These other nations don't like the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? They just over here because, it's the land of the free for them. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're above. You know what I'm saying? That's why you go, East Indians, they got nice neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? The Asians got nice neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Compared to us as in a whole, you know what I'm saying? They're doing well compared to us. You know what I'm saying? All we got is what? Athletes. You know what I'm saying? That's who, they, even some of them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? They make more than the athletes, probably more, I wouldn't put it past them. You know what I'm saying? In that Silicon Valley and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? In the tech industry, what have you, but where were we at? They were greatly despised. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. In schools we taught about what you call cavemen. You know what I'm saying? They used to teach us about cavemen, right? You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you seen a Asian caveman? Indian caveman, a black caveman. They always showing the white dude. You know what I'm saying? A hairy white dude, right? Because they live in the clefts of the rock. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call it. Caucasian, you know, Caucasus, I can't even say it. The Caucasoid Mountains or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's just playing connected dots, like I said. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get more of this real quick. Yeah, right here. Thou set thy nest among the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he's going to bring them down because they prideful. You know, he's the only one. You know what I'm saying? He's going to send Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. He's going to come down with a sword. He's going to take care of him because we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Vengeance is of the Most High. Vengeance is of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We can't do nothing about it. Nor are we strong enough. We don't have an army to go against this beast because that's exactly what it is. It's a beast, you know. But let's go ahead and get let's go up into this strong concordance about the attributes of Edom, aka Esau, aka the white man, right? You know what I'm saying? So Edom, you know, it means red. You know, you ever see a little baby come out, like a white baby come out? You know what I'm saying? When he's born, you know what I'm saying? You know how red he is, you know, or she. You know what I'm saying? You see it on movies all the time, or even when they get cold. You know what I'm saying? When they're Santa Claus or something like that, or even when they get mad. You know what I'm saying? They turn red. That's why his name's Edom. That's why he's red. Edomites, descendants of Esau. You know what I'm saying? And once again, you know, in this book right here, white people wrote this. Okay. Now, one of the characteristics of the character of warlike. Now, I need to say anymore. I mean, warlike. We know that. I mean, what? Because of 9/11, they were at war for 2 decades. 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? They just pulled them out. What? It's like 2020 something. 2020, 1 or 2 decades though. You know what I'm saying? But warlike. These people are warlike. You know, this is what they do. This is how they respond to things. You know what I'm saying? When they don't get their way. You know, look at Tulsa, Oklahoma back in 1921. You know what I'm saying? Like they claim a man winked at a woman or blew a kiss or something like that. You know, they always come up with bogus stories like that, right? You know, and they eventually bombed the whole town, the whole little resident area, right? You know what I'm saying? They bombed them. You know what I'm saying? Like that was really necessary, right? I'm being facetious, but really, maybe the so-called black folks back then in Tulsa, Oklahoma had a little army we don't know about. But you know, they had to bomb them. That's what they do. You know, Russell City. There's a place called Russell City. You know, that is Hayward now, but it was a little community back in 1960, 63, 64. All right. You know what I'm saying? It was predominantly black and Latinos living in that area right there. You know, they wanted to do a industrial parkway or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So instead of paying them what their land was worth, their money, their houses were worth. You know what I'm saying? They instead bombed them. They mysteriously fires came out of nowhere and just burned the houses down or something like that. This is what they, you know, look it up. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. They are warlike. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the attributes right here, one of the characteristics right here. You know, but let's go ahead and get some more, right? Idolatrous. I mean, you know, you got the American Idol. You know, that's just a big time show. I just want to throw that out there. But look at all the days of the week. You know, from Sunday all the way to Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like those are all named after the gods. They call them mythical gods and stuff like that. But you name the days of the week after. You know, it's because they worship these gods. You know what I'm saying? Like You know, I got some books that, you know, talk about certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? Wednesday, this dude, you know what I'm saying? This is their stories, right? You know, this is who they actually pray to. You see him on in Viking movies. His name was Odin or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? He had he had relations with Friday. You know what I'm saying? This is their stories. You know what I'm saying? They came together and had Thursday, which is he's known as Thor, and that's who you celebrate Thanksgiving for. You know what I'm saying? That's true. I mean, I got this in books. This stuff is in actual books. You know what I'm saying? And that's who you celebrate. You celebrating Thor, their god, one of their gods. They got so many gods, it's crazy. Even Jupiter and, you know, Mars and all that stuff, they all named after certain gods and stuff like that, or what have you. They're very superstitious. You know what I'm saying? Idolaters. They got many gods. You know. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, you know, with that, you know, with the Thanksgiving thing, right? You know, you people, right? You know, so-called Black, Latino, Native American, right? You know, yeah, there's some Native Americans. I'm pretty sure they celebrate Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? They say oh, they're coming together because this is the time when the family comes together or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's feast days in this Bible that you can keep. You know what I'm saying? If you say you're Christians and you love the Most High, why don't you do what these celebrate these high holy days right here in this Bible? Why you got to wait for Thanksgiving to come around? You know what I'm saying? Why? So you got to burn your house down with, you know, trying to fry a turkey. You know what I'm saying? Straight madness. You know? Yeah, but that's what you worshiping. You worshiping Thor, the god of thunder or some shit like that with an anvil. You know what I'm saying? And they got you doing this for a reason, to destroy and to defile your spirit. This is what they're doing. You know, but you know, I mean, this is only for people that have discernment. You know, the spirit that have that spirit. You know what I'm saying? And go, you know, I'm just helping them wake up. You know what I'm saying? If I could get that one, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do just that. You know what I'm saying? And wake them up, wake her up, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But superstitious. It's another characteristics. Superstitious. You know, I did some research. I looked up, you know, briefly. I look up, I came up with the one state that is the most superstitious out of all other states, and it's New Hampshire. Okay, and it's 88% white folks. That's a statistic I got. You know what I'm saying? You know, but another superstition. Rome, right? They used to have, well, I don't know if they still got it, whatever, but they have a male phallus, you know what I'm saying, on walls, right? You know what I'm saying? And that particular wall could be a bakery, but they have a male phallus, right? And the reason why they have that male phallus is because it'll ward off, it'll keep evil spirits away or something like that, and bring the bakery good luck. I mean, superstitious. You know what I'm saying? What are they? Edomites as well. You know what I'm saying? They're just Italian Caucasians, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's superstitious right there. Pride. That's another one. We know they prideful as hell. You know what I'm saying? They so pride. You know, I mean, they go to the moon and put that flag up there. You know what I'm saying? Like who gonna see it? Like as if there's a tour bus or something, a tour shuttle, spaceship that goes up there to see that damn flag. You know what I'm saying? But just prideful. Just just don't make any kind of sense, right? Cruel. It's another characteristic. Cruel. I mean, do we have to even say how cruel they are? They're treacherous people, even to their own kind. Even to their own kind. There are some cruel people. You know, I mean, I'll tell this story, every chance I get, but I read this book back in the day, and they had this old lady, you know what I'm saying? It was slavery, what have you. This old lady was behind a horse. They put her behind a horse, tied her down to a chair, and they're because the horse have good peripheral, what have you. They're brand the horse, and the horse would kick this old lady in the chest and of course kill her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's one, example of being cruel. But we can go on and on and on. I mean, let's take Florida Gators. You know, the football team. You know, the college football team, right? They do this, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There was controversy about that. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, you know, they used to, back in slavery, they used to get our little kids and tie them up and take them out in the swamp and let them crawl out there and use it for alligator bait. I'm not, you know, a lot of people tell it, you know, but here's another one. Vindictive. They're vindictive people, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's use Emmett Till. Emmett Till was a 14-year-old boy, right, from Chicago, went to Mississippi in 1955. And you know, once again, he supposedly winked at a white woman. You know what I'm saying? 14 years old. You know, he winked at a white woman. This was 1955. He wasn't no vice lord. I don't think the vice lords was out then. You know, I don't think the disciples was out. I don't think they, you know, what they call them, YNs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was a gangster or anything like that. You know, I'm pretty sure, I mean, even if he did wink at the white woman, then the revenge was to lynch him, shoot him, and mutilate him. That was their revenge, right? You know what I'm saying? Very vindictive. You know, this is what they did to a 14-year-old kid. He deserved that, huh? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just, put him over your lap. Oh, you looked at that white woman, boy, and spanked him. Nah. They had to do that to him, to that young man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just, some of the characteristics that, that these people have. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm just connecting the dots, But let's go ahead and get some more of this. You know what I'm saying? I got some more. Let me see. Let's go to Hebrews. Yeah, Hebrews 12 and 16. Here's something else. We know they're cunning. You know what I'm saying? We know they're cruel, vindictive. You know what I'm saying? Superstitious. Let's go see what else they are. You know what I'm saying? This is Hebrews chapter 12 and 16. And it reads, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Now, first, I want to point something out real quick, though. You know what I'm saying? Because it says right here, for one morsel of meat, he sold his birthright. For one morsel of meat, he sold his birthright. If you let that Christian church tell it, because I've heard it, and it's a thing, Jacob stole his birthright. This is what they talk about. This is what they teach in the Christian church. But it says for one morsel of meat, he sold his birthright. They don't read this. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, how did they come across that? Jacob stole his birthright. But and then, let's go ahead and read it further. You know what I'm saying? For verse 17, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. Who rejected him? The Most High rejected him. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Because remember, he's cunning. He sought it carefully with tears. You know what I'm saying? But he found no place for repentance. Stu didn't care. It said he was a fornicator. You know what I'm saying? Let's read it again. 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Now let's go break down this fornicator in here in the Strong Concordance once more. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, white man wrote this. They did the what you call that? The put all this information together. You know what I'm saying? About their own kind, about their people. Let me see where's this? Let's go to fornicator. Where is that at? Where's that at? It's in here somewhere. Here it is. Now, oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you that this book right here also it breaks down it has every word from the Bible to King James, right? And it breaks down every word pretty much, and it breaks them down in the Hebrew and in the Greek. Now, since this is written in Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, we're going to look up fornicator in the Hebrew, slakia in Greek. Yeah, Hebrews is in the New Testament, so it'll be written in Greek, right? So it says, this is the first one. It's porneia, a harlot, adulterer, and incest, fornication. That's what that means, okay? Porneia, that's what it's called. This is porneo, to act the harlot, indulge unlawful lust of either sex, commit fornication. That's porneo, all right? And you got porne, a harlot, whore, okay? This is the fourth one right here, pornos. This is a male prostitute, fornicator, whoremonger. Now, it's not rocket science. Porn. Who created porn? AKA the white man. You know what I'm saying? We didn't create that shit. You know what I'm saying? Chinese didn't create it. You can't even. It's frowned upon just to show public affection in China, to hold hands. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? White man created porn. And that's who he is in this Bible. He is Esau, a profane fornicator. Just playing connect the dots. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get some more of this. Hold on, where we at? Bear with me, Israel. You know what I'm saying? We got the fornicator, right? Let's go right here real quick too. You know what I'm saying? I want to point something out as well. He's in here, you know what I'm saying? Because he's Edomite as well. He's a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? It's Alexander. They call him the Great. Alexander the Great, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not named. This is what it says right here. He's not named in the Bible, but referred to as the four-headed leopard. You can find that in Daniel 7:6. All right. And then the goat with the great horn. You can find that Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 8, 5 and 9. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this dude is so great, right? You know what I'm saying? Why are you hiding him in the Bible? Why wouldn't you just say, oh, you know what I'm saying? Here he is right here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Alexander the Great's in the Bible. Nah, because you'll find something else. Even with this in the book of Daniel, when Daniel is having a vision, he's having a vision of beasts, a few beasts, 4 beasts. I don't know how many beasts it is. It was, right? But Alexander is one of those beasts. You know what I'm saying? And what they did was, he's in here, but they took it out and they put it in this book called the Apocrypha, right? I think it was the Protestants or something like that, who are white folks again. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they said this wasn't canon or something like that. It wasn't. I heard a pastor, a black pastor. You know what I'm saying? He said that they don't promote this book. They don't adhere to this book because it promotes unaliving yourself. Because in the book of Maccabees, I think it was, they were being pursued by a certain army. Israel was being pursued, right? The army was. and they jumped off a building and, you know, unalived themselves or something like that. You know, my memory serves me right. Now, this is why he said, you know what I'm saying? He like, I mean, he was brought over here in slavery. What does he know really? You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, if you want to know something, if you think you're wise in this world, you got to become a fool before you become wise, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? He was taught by the same people that brought him over here into slavery, taught this book, just like they teach them in the Christian church today, in the Catholic church today. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says in Psalm 147, 19, 20. I'm paraphrasing. I show my word unto Jacob, and my laws and statutes unto Israel. I have not dealt so with any other nation. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know anything what's in this body. He didn't give them the spirit. The Most High is not dealing with these heathens like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got this brother man talking about that he don't adhere to this book right here. The majority of these pastors tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But Alexander the Greek, he's in this book right here. And if you read about him in this book, and this is why they took this out of they took 14 books out of the original Bible, right? The 1611, it was in the original 1611, right? You know what I'm saying? They took 14 books talking about it wasn't canon or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But what they were really doing, they were hiding what Alexander did. Alexander and his men did. They went into Jerusalem and they defiled the sanctuary, the Most High sanctuary, cutting swine's flesh on the altars and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They did heinous atrocities. They made holy people eat pork, swine. They fed them swine, tried to take them away from their laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what they did. As a matter of fact, apocrypha in the Greek means hidden. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna sit here. You're gonna sit here and tell me that, oh, this book, oh no, it promotes what I say, unaliving. As a matter of fact, Samuel and Jonathan, they were being pursued by their enemies, right? How did they die? They unalived themselves. You didn't take that out. You know what I'm saying? But you did take this out. Why? Because you didn't want to talk about your great boy, Alexander the Great. You know what I'm saying? Being defiled. You know what I'm saying? With his wickedness. You know, being profane and a fornicator and whatnot. You know, that's why they took this book out. So all you naysayers, whatever, you know what I'm saying? These pastors out there teaching, oh no, we don't adhere to that book right there. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, hold on. Let's go in it. Let's go in here real quick. You know, I mean, because there's some powerful stuff in here. You know, let's go to Ecclesiastes. I mean, Ecclesiasticus, straight powerful. I'm gonna go to chapter 6 and just read. I'm just gonna read about 10 of them. You know, bear with me. I know I'm all over the place, but let's see. What was with that? Now let's go ahead and read this. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Verse 9. And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, would discover thy reproach. Let's keep going. Verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, let's say if I had, you know, a lot of wealth, you know what I'm saying? You know what they say? What he bring it to the table? You know what I'm saying? He's a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. If I can't bring nothing to that table, he ain't gonna continue in the day of my affliction when I'm down and out, right? Verse 11. But in the prosperity, he will be as thyself. You know what I'm saying? You get that money, they're gonna be on you. You know, you see it with boxers, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You got the one cat, you know, after the fight, you know, he, you know, dressed up all fly. You don't know who he is, but he over there wiping the boxer's sweat off him and stuff like that. That's who they're talking about, that cat. I ain't saying they all like that. Some of them probably, you know, 100. Been there since Jay Big, what have you. You know what I'm saying? The majority of them, they be like that. You know what I'm saying? But Verse 12, if thou be brought low, he will be against thee and will hide himself from thy face. Verse 13, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. Verse 14, a faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such and one hath found a treasure. Wow. I mean, just think. I mean, like, you know, having a friend like that, you found a treasure, somebody that's right there with you. You know what I'm saying? You'll find that in the ISBK. You know what I'm saying? We are brothers to the end. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to teach you how to be upright, teach you how to follow these laws, statutes, commandments. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's go. Let's 15. Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. Verse 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, right? And they that fear the Lord shall find him. That's what the Lord's going to put in your path. He's going to put you in the path of a faithful friend. But you live in grimy, you live in low, that's what you're going to end up with. You know what I'm saying? How many so-called friends unalive they friend for nothing over a female, over 5 cents, over what, you know, we go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? Verse 17, whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. Verse 18, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. This is some heavy stuff in here. And they talk about, you know what I'm saying, this stuff ain't canon. You know what I'm saying? This is this, you know, I mean, heavy stuff right here. It tells you how to be upright. You know what I'm saying? And those instructions are following the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High's instructions. You know what I'm saying? You get it from your youth up. And you become an old man and you have that wisdom. And you do what? You teach the young. You know what I'm saying? You teach the other men how to be upright. You know what I'm saying? The young men how to be upright. You know? But instead, you know, we in time of wickedness. You know, nobody, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? What did it say? Wear out the doorstep of a wise man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those wise men are rare nowadays. You got to find them in the ISUPK. That's the only place. You know what I'm saying? We're going to teach you how to be upright up in this camp. You know, because it's nothing but all outdoors wickedness. You know what I'm saying? All the wickedness, all outdoors, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to it. Let's see. No, yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. They tend to you know, like I said earlier, there's a couple of people, you know what I'm saying, that they actually put in here that they said, you know what I'm saying, they say who they are, the nation, you know what I'm saying, they say they are. But you know, Esau, he's not gonna be in, especially if you read about his characteristics and his atrocities in this book, you know what I'm saying, in this book, you know what I'm saying, he's not gonna want to fess up and say, hey, yeah, I'm Esau that book, you know what I'm saying, that's me, I'm eat him, you know what I'm saying, they're not gonna say that, they're gonna hide, right? But let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is another book that I got, right? It's new what is it? A New Standard Encyclopedia. Okay. 1948. This is a 1948 book. This is one thing that it says right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read this real quick. Abraham. This is in another white book as well. 1948. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, let's talk about the you know, we couldn't even, I mean, our reading level back in 1948, I mean, I could pretty sure it was probably pretty low. You know what I'm saying? But it says in Hebrew lore, the father of Israelites and of the Arabian tribes. This is what it says right here. Abraham, we know who Abraham is. You know what I'm saying? The father of the Israelites and the Arabian tribes. That's what it says right there, right? Now let's find out who these Arabians are, right? You know, let's go ahead and get this real quick. Where you at? All right. This is about Moors. Everybody know what a Moor is, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a derogatory term for a Negro, a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, especially in medieval times or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Back there, they say they call them Moors or whatnot. And they even probably go back, more than likely go back further. You know what I'm saying? But the Moors, as the Arabs are called in Western history. Now, the Arabs were called Moors. All right, we're gonna get some more. As the Arabs were related to the Israelites, the Arabs were related to the Israelites. So their religion has many points in common with the Hebrew faith. You see why Muslims, they worship towards the east, they pray towards the east, you know. Now, let's go ahead and get some more of this Moors. Moors, an Arabic people now occupying the Barbary states. They were originally Arabs. Okay, we still more and more, right, of these Moors. And it says the Moors of today are not Negroes. So Arabs, which were called Moors, which were the sons of Abraham, were called Negroes at one point. Okay, now let's go back into this book right here and look up, well, not Arab. Let me go right here real quick. We just connecting the dots, just putting stuff out there, you know what I'm saying, what's in this Bible right here. It says Ishmael, descendants of Ishmael. Well, Ishmaelites, descendants of Ishmael, became known as Arabians. That was Abraham's first son, right? Ishmael. They became known as Arabians in 2 Chronicles 17 and 11. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The white man put their business out on the street, right? You know what I'm saying? He put them in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It was three nations that was behind the transatlantic slave trade. It was the white man. Well, first the Africans, who we are not. We are not Africans. You know what I'm saying? They just got melanated. They're just melanated people, just like we are. You know what I'm saying? The Arabs and the white man. Those are the three main people right there. Three main nations right there who was at the hand of the transatlantic slave trade, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's go get some more real quick with this Arab. This is in the Hebrew right here. This is what Arab means. Commingle, to commingle, which means a blend. Okay, mingle, mix. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? That's what Arab means. Mix. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get some more. Arab, mingled people, mixed multitude. And that's exactly what they did. Who did they mix with? And they did it for a reason. They mixed with I think it was they went to Spain, right? They went through the Gibraltar Straits. Slovakia. You know what I'm saying? They went up there for a time and they set up a kingdom up there, right? You know what I'm saying? And they mixed with those people. Those people are what? European, the Spaniards, right? They even mixed with Sicilians, Italians, right? You know what I'm saying? Over there in Italy, Rome, what have you, and stuff. You know, they be always talking about, on TV, on movies. Oh, yeah, you guys respond by niggas. You know what I'm saying? They tell Sicilians that or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, people mixed anyways back in those days. You know what I'm saying? Like we are a communicable people. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come around each other. You know what I'm saying? We gonna socialize. And then somebody gonna like somebody, and they gonna start popping out babies. You know what I'm saying? Look at I believe it was in Nehemiah. You know what I'm saying? The children of Israel, they started marrying other nations. You know what I'm saying? I think and Nehemiah got mad. I could be mistaken. Nehemiah got mad because they weren't even speaking. The Israel couldn't even speak their own language. They were speaking the heathens languages. That's why he was upset. You know what I'm saying? So we've been mixing way before. You know how you have people, you know what I'm saying, like, oh man, you light skinned, so you must have some white in you. Man, they've been mixing way before we got over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was Frederick Douglass. His daddy's a white man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it happens. It happened. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like they, came over here and just dominated and just wiped us all out and mixed. You know what I'm saying? We just became the greatest of everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Greatest singers, greatest athletes. You know what I'm saying? Because we got their blood in us or something. You know what I'm saying? You hear all kinds of crazy ass nonsense, that these people be talking about, man. These ignorant people out here. But let's get some more, right? So we got Ishmael. I just had to bring that out. As a matter of fact, side note, back in 95, I think it was KRS-One. Yeah, it was KRS-One. He has a song called Why Is That? Look that song up right there. He breaks it all down. He even knows, you know what I'm saying? He breaks it down who Abraham was, who Moses was, who the Israelites are. You know what I'm saying? Like he breaks it down. Why is that? It's called Why Is That? KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? Back in 95 and that. And even then, I was listening. I'm a beat dude. So I was rocking to that beat. You know what I'm saying? I listened, because I know I was listening to the words, but I was listening because I was singing stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't even catch on. I just didn't even pay attention. Yeah, I just didn't pay attention actually. You know what I'm saying? I was probably under the influence of some, marijuana or something. You know what I'm saying? Just being dumb, young and dumb. But at the same time that year, I was reading the Bible, you know what I'm saying? And I came across, Israel not eating pork, right? So I was like, man, shoot, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If they ain't eating pork, the Most High told them not to eat pork. I'm not going to eat pork, man. You know what I'm saying? But Christian came. I called a Christian. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, no, man, that's for Israel. I'll say, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? But, my dumb ass, you know what I'm saying? It took me this long to get, to find the truth, But let's go ahead and get some more, right? Let's go to Zephaniah. Yeah. Because they told on somebody else too. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Zephaniah real quick, and bring this out right quick. You know what I'm saying? Zephaniah 2 and 12. That's what it is. Zephaniah 2 and 12. Yeah, time's flying. Zephaniah 2 and 12. 2 and 12. It says, well, you know what? Let's start it from 11. Zephaniah 2:11. The Lord will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth, and men shall worship him, every one from his place, even all the isles of the heathen. Verse 12. Ye Ethiopians, also you shall be slain by my sword. Now, if I was Ethiopian, you know what I'm saying, and I went to a Christian church, I'm going to ask that Christian, hey, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Why is that in there? You know what I'm saying? What have you? And of course, that pastor, the Christian, they wicked, you know what I'm saying? They wicked as all can be, and they're going to lie to him because all they think about is money, you know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't even paying attention. He was probably looking around the church, watching the basket go around, you know what I'm saying? But, he going to say, as a matter of fact, he probably going to be surprised too that was in there, because all they read is Paul anyways, if they even read the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Because they sit up there, open the Bible, read a little scripture real quick, and then start teaching the whole service, right? This is what they do, you know what I'm saying? They start talking. Great motivational speakers, I'll say. But he gonna say, what he gonna say? He gonna say, that's the Old Testament. That's what he gonna say, because he don't have nothing to say. Instead of telling that man the truth, we gonna tell you the truth. Why the Most High said even your Ethiopians shall be slain with my sword, because you are God's enemy. You are the Most High's enemy. Read about what y'all did to us. You know what I'm saying? and you call yourself Ethiopian Jews. How can you be an Ethiopian Jew? Doesn't even make sense. Ethiopians are from Ham. Judah, that's where Jew comes from. That's where the term comes from. He's from Shem. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You know what I'm saying? So how are you an Ethiopian Jew? We're going to tell you the truth. We're going to tell you what, you know, the thing you can do, right, is support this truth. You know what I'm saying? Send your money to the ICPK, to General Yohana. That's what you can do, and help us uplift our people to continue on getting this word out as much as we can. Clothe and feed our people. Just send your money. And maybe the Most High will be, he will have mercy for you and your kind, your nation, you Ethiopians, because this is in that Bible. You know what I'm saying? In Malachi 3:6, it says, I am the Lord, I change not. In Hebrews 13:8, it says Christ, the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm paraphrasing. I believe that's what it says. But they don't change. You know, Christ says, he says what his Father say, right? He said he changed not. So therefore, that word don't change. Most High, Christ said he coming back with a sword in Matthew 10:34. He said, I think not I come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you Ethiopians, y'all, you're not Jews. As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. You know, let's get that right quick. You know what I'm saying? This is another white man's book, the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. You know what I'm saying? It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitors of the dark races, not the Negroes. And it goes on and states, you know, a couple of names. But the Egyptians, that's, you know, that's where Ishmael come from. Sarah gave Abraham her handmaid, which was Hagar. She was an Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? They came together, her and Abraham came together and had Ishmael. That's where Ishmael comes from. Okay. The Ethiopians, that's the second one. It says Ham is the progenitors of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of African tribes out there, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's who you are. You Ham Ethiopians. And if you don't think so, why don't you take the Zondervan's people to court? You know what I'm saying? Why that's in there? Surely you got a good case. Y'all Jews. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get some more of this right quick. You know, time is flying. Can't believe it's already out. Let's go to Lamentations 2, real quick. Lamentations 2 in 2:16. Let's see. It reads, Lamentations 2:16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. That her is Israel. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. Verse 17, the Lord have done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and have not pitied thee. And he hath caused thy enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. That horn represents power. He has set up the power of our adversaries, which are these other nations that we are surrounded. You know what I'm saying? Then and today. But I want to point this out that Lamentations, which is Jeremiah, right? He says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. You know what I'm saying? The Lord have done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word. Where was that word? In old time, they said, where was that word? That word was back in Leviticus. That word was back in Deuteronomy, right? Let's go ahead and get there right quick. Let's go ahead and get that Leviticus 26 and 14. Leviticus 26 and 14. This is what they were talking about over there in Lamentations. You know what I'm saying? You know, you act like they didn't know what was going on with Israel. They were right there. You know, they were right there. You know what I'm saying? With us. You know what I'm saying? They were right there. Sometimes we mingled. You know, the Most High had to tell us, don't even follow their ways. Don't even follow their gods. Don't worship what they do. You know what I'm saying? Don't eat what they do. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But this is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, verse 15, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my commandments. Verse 16, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror. Remember that terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. Verse 17, and I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. You know what I'm saying? That's how fearful we're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Always looking over our backs. You know what I'm saying? When the police pull us over, you know what I'm saying? What? We get scared. Well, you know, I don't be getting scared. You know, it is what it is. If Most High going to send, you know what I'm saying? If he going to do the do on you, you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? The angel of death, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just, pull over, you know what I'm saying? And be like, what's up, officer? You know what I'm saying? That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of us, you know what I'm saying? We get scared, our buddies tell me whatever. You know what I'm saying? People talk about that, you know what I'm saying? They get scared when the police pull them over. You know what I'm saying? But, you can't do nothing. Like I said, if the Most High, when it's that time, you know what I'm saying? The Most High, he point, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That day, So why even worry? Why even trip? You know what I'm saying? Like, just, pull over and just, hey, here you go. But it could be that day. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Be righteous. Don't sin. Stop sinning out there. You know what I'm saying? But where we at? So the other nations, they knew exactly what over there in Leviticus Moses was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy, they were talking about. Let's get Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, right? You know what I'm saying? They knew this. They were sitting, you know how when you sitting there, you know what I'm saying? Like you licking your chops, you know what I'm saying? You see this cat, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I was doing it. But got cats out there that do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They gonna wait for you to, you know what I'm saying, slip and fall, you know what I'm saying? So they can attack or what have you. You know what I'm saying? If you out there, hustling or whatever, you know what I'm saying, doing stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna wait for your fall. They're gonna wait for your downfall until it's time to attack, till you weak or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. And remember that terror when I was talking about, because I'm gonna read something out of this book right here. But this is Deuteronomy 28 Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Remember that yoke of iron, right? Upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. I mean, every white nation, every white country, what have you, they like the eagle. They represent that eagle is their like favorite bird or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as swift as the eagle flyeth. Go ahead and unalive an eagle. You know what I'm saying? You probably get it a couple of years or something. You know, they go crazy. They probably put you under jail. You know, you know how they treat us compared to animals. You know what I'm saying? A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. There's no understanding in this man. You know what I'm saying? Like really. I mean, I just don't understand some. You know, some. I mean, you can't even collect rain in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if it is polluted or whatever. What they care? It's like they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like if you drink a polluted water, but yeah, it's against the law to collect water as if they created the rain. It's crazy. No understanding this, man. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Now, we talked about the old lady being kicked by the horse. We talked about the babies, alligator bait. You know what I'm saying? And there's more stories out there. There's more stuff. I mean, I could get a list, you know what I'm saying, of books and just read off the atrocities that this nation they have done to the so-called children, the so-called black people. You know what I'm saying, here in this over here. You know what I'm saying, and the so-called Native Americans, so-called Latinos. They have committed atrocities. You know what I'm saying? They still commit atrocities. You know what I'm saying? You got over there the Native Americans on the reservation, the women and the women and the girls are coming up missing. You know what I'm saying? In mass numbers. And nobody talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Look at Iskar, you know what I'm saying? The so-called Mexicans, right? You know what I'm saying? They over there working. I talk about this all the time, you know what I'm saying? And ICE is coming to get them. You know what I'm saying? When they over there working in the fields, working, just trying to make a living, getting thrown in cages and stuff like that, being stripped from their kids and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. They going to schools, taking little kids and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy work, man. Crazy stuff right there, right? You know what I'm saying? But they're fear the count. They're just what the scripture just said. You know what I'm saying? I forgot already. I'm just going. I'm just losing it right now. It riles me up when I talk about this stuff. I gotta maintain my composure and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But let me go. Let me talk about this book real quick. It's called the Black Jacobsons by Toussaint L'Ouverture, and the San Domingo Revolution by C.L.R. James. Now, I just want to read a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? I remember, about the terror, about the yoke, that yoke, right? Just real quick, I'm going to go over this. What else I got? We got that Deuteronomy. We got that. Yeah, let me go ahead and read this right here. So now, one of the plantation owners, he was treating his slaves. He was treating them bad. He was treating his slaves bad. I mean, this is after they kidnapped a whole nation of people. You know what I'm saying? They felt, you know what I'm saying? The dude was treating them bad, right? His slaves bad, right? And so they sent a commission to go over there and check his stuff out. You know what I'm saying? But this is, you could kidnap, you could force them to be what they do. They made them and stuff like that. They treated us like animals, right? We 3/5 of a man, right? You know what I'm saying? But yet they want to see what the state of the plantation owner was doing to his two women. Yeah, two women locked up or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So it says, they had compassion. The commission actually found the two women barred and chained, with elbows and legs decomposing. You know what I'm saying? But still alive. One of them had her neck so lacerated by an iron collar. That's that yoke of iron that the Most High was just talking about right there in Deuteronomy, right? That she could not swallow. This is how now, he said, your enemies are going to do this to him, right? To you. That's what he said. That's who they are. They're our enemies. But, we got our own kind to be out there fighting against us, talking about God said love everyone. You teaching hate. Man, this place was built on hate. You know what I'm saying? The very land you step on was built on blood from slaves. You talking about we teaching hate. No, we trying to uplift our people. We trying to bring them from being base. You know what I'm saying? Being at the bottom of this barrel over here, around amongst all these heathens. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. Talking about we teaching hate. We practicing what? The First Amendment. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't written for us, but that's all we doing. You know what I'm saying? But yet they label us the Black KKK. I wish. You know what I'm saying? But the vengeance is of the Most High. And at the same time, we men over here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to put no hoods over our face. You know what I'm saying? And go lynch women and children. Defenseless women and children and men. You know what I'm saying? A little mob. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Talking about we the Black KKK. Nah. That's not what we do, right? You know what I'm saying? Look at that shirt right there. Right there, yeah. I wish, you know what I'm saying? But vengeance is of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We ain't cowards. We gonna wait. You know what I'm saying? Like Revelation 13:10 says, patience of the saints, right? Those who live by the sword may die by the sword. You know what I'm saying? Those who go into captivity those who lead into captivity shall go into captivity. I'm paraphrasing. This is the patience of the faith of the saints. And that's what we waiting for. We waiting for Yahushua Mashiach come back and do the do. That's what we waiting for. You know what I'm saying? It's lucky. I'm getting riled up, you know, reading this crazy stuff right here. You know, let's go to another one real quick. Real quick. Now, this is about the cargo. You know what I'm saying? With the cargo, you know, how they brought us over in captivity, right? You know what I'm saying? In cargo slave ships. All right. Now, the fear of their cargo bred a savage cruelty in the crew. One captain, to strike terror, they go that terror again, right? Into the rest, killed a slave and dividing heart, liver, and entrails into 300 pieces, made each of the slaves eat one, threatening those who refuse with the same torture. It's a cruel beast, vile beast, profane beast, a fornicating beast. That's what this Esau is, right? You know what I'm saying? I bleeped that out. I ain't say it. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Where am I at? Threatening those who refuse the same torture. Such incidents were not rare. Given the circumstances, such things were and are inevitable. Nor did the system spare the slaves. Every year, 1/5 of all who took part in the African trade died. All America and the West Indies took slaves. When the ship reached the harbor, the cargo came up on deck to be bought. Speaking about the slaves, right? You know what I'm saying? They were cargo. The purchasers examined them for defects, looked at the teeth, pinched the skin, sometimes tasted the perspiration to see if the slave's blood was pure. I didn't know white folks had such a gift. You know, they, you know what I'm saying, got that sweat, tasted it, and they could figure out, oh, this is a pure nigga right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know they had that gift. You know, it's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? And his health as good as his appearance. Some of the women affected a curiosity, the indulgence of which, with a horse, would have caused them to be kicked 20 yards across the deck. But the slave had to stand it. That's what it says, right? Then, in order to restore the dignity which might have been lost by too intimate an examination, the purchaser spat in the face of the slave. Having become the property of his owner, he was branded on both sides of the breast with a hot iron. His duties were explained to him by an interpreter, and the priest instructed him in the first principles of Christianity. I'm assuming he was telling them God loves everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just to think, you know, the irony. This man had to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Or the men, the women, what have you, they had to go through this, right? You know what I'm saying? This particular man being branded by his chest. You know what I'm saying? You know, he probably tripping out. That's, you know, even though got kicked in the chest by a horse, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Crossed the deck for 20 yards. You know, I don't even know how they survived that. But if they, you know, crazy. But he tripping. You know what I'm saying? He's probably still thinking about the individual, the slave owner, the buyer, wiping that sweat and licking it. You know, I'm just being facetious right there. But I know he's tripping. You know what I'm saying? But the irony, like I said, here it is today. We got Black Christian church pastors saying, "Oh, we don't adhere to this book right here." You know what I'm saying? Like, and the principles, after all that, they teach them the principles of Christianity. Crazy. You know, just blows my mind. It blows my mind. But let's go ahead and get some more of this real quick. You know, let's go to Joshua, the book of Joshua. You know, but that's like I said, the Black Jacobsons. It's a good book. Yeah, it's crazy stuff in there, right? You know what I'm saying? There's one something I read in there where the slave owner came and he split up a son and a father. And he bought, he sold the son off or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And 15 years go by, you know what I'm saying? He'll bring them back. Let's say they're having a feast or something like that. He'll bring them back, and the son will see the dad will see the son. After 15 years, they wouldn't even speak to each other. That's how ashamed they were. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. You know, they probably got essayed by the men. You know, this crazy, treacherous stuff. I know this is, but we teaching hate. But this is something that actually happened with our these people that put us into slavery. But we teaching hate. Now, we just talking about the atrocities. We just practicing the First Amendment, like I said earlier. You know what I'm saying? But we teaching hate. We the Black KKK. You know, yeah, the truth hurt, right? You know, you don't want to hear this. Oh, slavery was a long time ago. No, you just weak. That's all you are. You just a weak individual. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Joshua, chapter 2. Book of Joshua, chapter 2, real quick. Like I said, the other nations, they knew everything that was going on about us. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to read something real quick. This is Joshua 2, starting at verse 1. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 1. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out of Chittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, "Go view the land, even Jericho." And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab and lodged there. Verse 2. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, "Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country." Now remember, Moses just had passed away. Okay, and with Moses, coming out of Egypt, we had plenty of wars, battles, with the other nations, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew who we were. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, "Hey, go take care of them because they wicked anyways." So now Joshua was taking over. So now verse 3. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, "Bring forth the men." This is what he's saying to the harlot. "Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house. For they be come to search out all the country." Verse 4. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them and said, "Thus there came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were." Let's skip down to verse 8. In verse 8, and before they were laid down, that's the 2 Israelites, before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. They were up on the roof chilling. Verse 9. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. Verse 10. For we have heard the Lord, for we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. Verse 11. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man. That's how bad we were. You know what I'm saying? When we did what the Most High told us to do. You know what I'm saying? When we didn't have no stiff heart. We listened to the Most High. We didn't have no stiff neck. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Most High do for us again, Israel. If you come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and stop living like these heathens out here, right? Because you, sluggy, for the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and in beneath and in earth beneath. This was a smart harlot, I'll tell you. Now, verse 12. Now, therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token. Verse 13. And that ye will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters, and all that I am and slugging, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. Yeah, that hardly was smart. You know what I'm saying? Let's jump down to 23. So the two men returned and descended from the mountain and passed over and came to Joshua, the son of Nun, and told him all things that befell them. Verse 24. And they said unto Joshua, truly, the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. You know, go back to Lamentations. That's how they knew. They knew exactly what we were doing. They knew all about it. They knew all the words we were in. This was a harlot. This is a woman. You know what I'm saying? This is you know, they knew everything that was going on with Israel. So therefore, they knew about us if we did not hearken to the Lord, law, statutes, and commandments, and we followed other gods, which we ended up doing. You know what I'm saying? We will fall. The Most High will turn His back on us. They knew this, and that's why we stuck today. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Let's go to Joshua 23. Joshua 23. Well, I jumped the gun on this, right? You know what I'm saying? Joshua 23. This is book of Joshua, chapter 23, verse 1. Let's start at verse 1. I'm going to read all the way to 13. And it came to pass a long time after that, the Lord had given rest unto Israel from all their enemies round about, that Joshua waxed old and stricken in age. Verse 2. And Joshua called for all Israel, and for their elders, and for their heads, and for their judges, and for their officers, and said unto them, I am old and stricken in age. Verse 3. And ye have seen all that the Lord your God hath done unto all the nations, all these nations because of you. For the Lord your God is He that hath fought for you. Verse 4. Behold, I have divided unto you by lot these nations that remain, to be an inheritance for your tribes from Jordan, with all the nations that I have cut off, even unto the great sea westward. Verse 5. And the Lord your God, He shall expel them from before you, and drive them from out of your sight, and ye shall possess their land, as the Lord your God hath promised you. The Lord your God hath promised unto you. Verse 6. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that ye turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left. Verse 7, that ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them. Verse 8, but cleave unto the Lord your God, as ye have done unto this day. Verse 9, for the Lord hath driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man hath been able to stand before you unto this day. Verse 10, one man of you shall chase 1,000. That's crazy right there. One, if we had the Most High with us by our side, right? If we did what the Most High said, one man of you shall chase 1,000. For the Lord your God, it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. Take good heed, therefore, verse 11, slightly. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God. Verse 12, else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you. Verse 13, know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. I mean, and voila, we're in America. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what happened. And that's why we are trotting down today, because we still practicing Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Easter, all this other stuff, Halloween. Hallow. They call it hallow. Hallow means holy. Holy-ween, that's what they call it. And let's not get the history with that. Back in the day, with trick or treat or something like that. I forgot the history, you know what I'm saying? But it had to do with kids or something like that. Something crazy. You know what I'm saying? But we over here, they get it, and they focus on getting, capturing the kids. You know what I'm saying? As far as, their mental. That's why the Christmas is so fun. And so, throughout the years, you know what I'm saying, before these pagan holidays come up, what Black, Latino, Native Americans, what they do, they just bicker amongst each other all day, all throughout the year. Your mama yelling at you, you know what I'm saying? Your dad's gone, you know what I'm saying? Everybody fighting amongst each other. That's all they doing, bickering. It's rare that you go into a household, so-called Black and Latino household, and everybody's just in Native American household, and everybody's just like, you know what I'm saying, like just upright and teaching one another, you know what I'm saying, speaking to one another, sitting at the table, eating dinner with one another, and not celebrating these pagan holidays or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And doing what the Most High said to do in this Bible. But that's how they get us. Because we as adults, we revert back to our childhood memories. You know what I'm saying, with Easter and stuff like that. The hell rabbits got to do with laying eggs and stuff like that. Just straight crazy wickedness, man. But all that is, it is you just worshiping a goddess of fertility or something like that. But it's crazy, man. That's pretty much about it, though. I'm about to close it out. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Connect the dots with Esau and these other nations. You know what I'm saying? But let's wake up, Israel. You know what I'm saying? Let's come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Contact the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? Under Commander General Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna show you how to get back on the right track. You know what I'm saying? With following these laws, statutes, and commandments. Stop doing all this wicked stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna teach you how to hate. Once again, I'm being facetious. Now we're gonna teach you how to love your brother and sister, which is a so-called Black and Latino and Native American man and woman and child. That's what we're gonna teach you how to do. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to salute out and say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatham to the brothers and Yahweh Shema Allah by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.